Just want to let you know that we are officially starting day 3 training for the student conduct panel. Today we will be focusing on the forms that will be used during the panel hearings. Um, there will be a lot of forms. You'll notice that there will be some changes, some differences if you have some history with serving. But I think the forms are very clear and succinct and will help everyone out. And as we go through each form, I will be able to say and share who around the table will use what form. Okay? So the competencies that we hope you all walk away with from training include being able to articulate the student engagement involvement focus, understanding really what that is and what our intentions are in terms of helping the college to retain and support students through their persistence process. We want you to be able to demonstrate skill in hearing student conduct cases. You'll be able to analyze, interpret, and make sound decisions based on the facts that you all have received and the facts that we have given to you from the Dean of Students office, the NOVA policies, procedures, and our values. You should be able to demonstrate skill in guiding and assisting others to report behaviors of concern. So while this training is to help you to be the best panel member that you can be for NOVA, we also want you to be able to walk away and say, hey, if you have a problem, this is how you report it. You should be able to explain the student conduct philosophy in its basic terms and demonstrate knowledge of student conduct terms and processes. Stephen went over some of those terms yesterday. For example, how does the college define student? And we want you to successfully complete our mock hearing process that we will have for you at a later date. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask your questions at any time during this training. So the first form that you all will see is the student conduct panel training checklist. We want to make sure that before the hearing begins, that you have each one of these forms. So the person identified as being responsible for the forms will have to check off each one to make sure everything is in the packet that's supposed to be there. The conduct confidentiality form, this is where you all will have to sign and submit this form to us today or whenever you can. I know that you are online. If you can scan and email it to either Stephen or I. You can email it to Stephen Mosley at smosley@mvcc.edu or mbentley@mvcc.edu. But essentially, this is your promise to us and to the college that once you serve on the panel, that you will not share any of the information that was discussed during the hearing. So the position descriptions, we shared on day 1 and even day 2 that each person at the table will have a role. You will no longer just come to the hearing with the expectation that you just give and participate during the decision-making process. The role of the administrative hearing officer, that would be someone from the Dean of Students office most likely, but this person is a non-voting member, but just responsible for the flow and making sure that the process is appropriate. The facilitator, this person is responsible for the overall flow of the hearing. They serve as the key person who runs the hearing process. The facilitator is a voting member. This person reads the very long script that we have, and we will review that script with you. They regulate the structure of the hearing process, and they oversee the questioning by board members of the accused and witnesses. So they regulate who asks what questions and when. And they simply maintain order in the conference room during the hearing process. The clerk, this is a staff member who is responsible for the hearing starting and ending on time. This person is also a voting member, and they serve as the timekeeper during the hearing process. They will go and see that everyone who is waiting for a hearing is accounted for and present, and they will document that. Will just make sure that we are on time and on schedule. The recorder, this, sorry, the recorder, this person is responsible for audio and written recording. So they will be transcribing the hearing process, and they will also be responsible for the audio recording of the hearing process as well. This person is a voting member, and we prefer a student to fulfill this role simply because it does involve writing. So, of course, we always want to help our students, even when they're serving on the panel, with some academic skills. And we will work with the student to make sure that they are very fluent with this process. The panel rules and regulations. We want to make sure that everyone arrives to the hearing at least, this is 15 minutes, but we even say between 10 and 30 minutes, depending on the nature of the case. We talked yesterday just dressing professionally. I think everyone really knows what that is. But the key piece is making sure you attend the assigned hearings. We do have a minimum quorum, so if we don't meet our minimum quorum, the hearing possibly will not be able to take place at the fault of the college. So if you are assigned to a hearing, we want to make sure that you are there. Maintaining privacy at all times, and this simply means that you will not share what you hear and witness during the hearing process. Please leave all food, gum, beverages outside of the hearing, only because we have technological equipment that we don't want to run the risk of damaging. Treat all panel members, the accused, the complainant, and witnesses with fairness and respect. Sometimes this can be very difficult once you have read through the documentation, but this is a basic standard and expectation. Remain impartial during the hearing process. Forget your own personal thoughts and ideas and experiences about what you have read, and really come to the table with an open mind and with the understanding that everyone has something to give. Uphold the policies and procedures of the college, of course, and of the Office of Student Integrity and Conduct at all times. Here is the student conduct panel script. And Mr. Mosley, did you want to review the script with them?
All you. All you.
Okay. So the script is very long, but the thing about this script is it is orderly. So in the script introduction, this is where we will, as panel members, announce who we are to the individuals in the room, and they will then announce who they are as well. And it gives very clear direction. When you get a free moment, just review it for yourself and keep a copy. If you know you're serving on a particular day, review it a couple of times for flow and comfort. The script purpose, this is shared with everyone in the room. The roles and the rules of the hearing process are explained in the script, and it's shared with everyone. There will be a time during the hearing process where we will ask for the participants to sign a couple of documents. One would be the confidentiality agreement, and then the other would be the honesty statement. As you can see, we give the complainant an opportunity to tell their side. We then call the accused in and give them an opportunity to tell their side. We then have the opportunity for questioning. Panel members may direct questions to both the accused and complainant students. and vice versa. They may be able to ask us questions as well. We can identify the witnesses. We have a format in which we do that. And we call one witness at a time. We don't invite all witnesses in at the same time. And I think that's more for order and to really show that we value integrity. And that's it for our script. Again, that's something, the script is really something you will have to review for yourself to make sure that you're comfortable. But we do believe it's very readable and it flows nicely. We have the hearing opinion form. This is the form where you will document what the panel members have agreed to. A lot of this form will be filled out for you by us. It asks for the hearing officer name, who the panel members are. We can have that information in there for you already. The respondent name and IMPL ID, we will have that information in there for you already. But you will have to let us know whether or not they are present at the hearing by circling either yes or no. Allegations and charges, we will have those items listed in this section for you. Documents submitted for review, we will have this information listed in this section for you because we will be the ones presenting you with the packet of information. Findings of facts, meaning what were the facts of the case. This is where you will begin to document yourselves as panel members. Determination of responsibility for the respondent. You just pick one of the two options. It's either after reviewing all of the information, the panel finds the person responsible, or after reviewing all of the information, the panel finds the person not responsible. Sanction recommendations for the respondent if there is a outcome of responsibility. We have a general guide here of the sanctions that you should be considering if the panel members believe that the violation by this definition is minor. Then you would sanction within the minor category of sanctions given. If you believe it to be moderate infraction, you would use what we would consider within the moderate. And if you believe it to be a major infraction, then of course you would select from the major sanction options. And I believe with major, all sanctions could apply. So you would list your recommendations below as a panel panel members. So everyone doesn't fill out this form, but everyone's opinion gets documented on this form. Then you just say respectfully submitted by whoever is facilitating the hearing for the day would write their name. You would sign and date it and get this back to us within, I believe we said within 72 hours, Stephen. Get this form back to us, the opinion form, within 72 hours. Is that what we're saying?
It's on the delay here. That's fine.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, the report notes. This is completed by the recorder. So this is where the recorder documents what the individuals in the hearing are saying. And on this, I prefer bulleted points. So it shouldn't be full sentences and paragraphs, but it should be keywords that the individual stated. We have the student conduct panel training evaluation. We want each of you to complete this evaluation and tell us how well we did. I believe Mr. Mosley created an electronic version of this. We will send this out to everyone who participated in training this week. And if you guys can complete that and submit it electronically, we can tabulate your opinions about the training, how we can improve, if it was good, what can change, what stays the same, and we will use that information to reshape the training as necessary. And this is just the checklist, making sure that you review the file, that everything is in the file for those who are recording. You check the recording quality and audio recorder prior to the start of the hearing. I usually do something like testing, testing, 1, 2, and then I play it back to make sure that I can audibly hear my voice. Making sure that the laptop is functioning properly. It will be on by the time you get to the room for the hearing, but it is your job to make sure that it's properly functioning, and if it's not, letting us know. Recording the review time, which will be given, like I said, if you show up 10 to 30 minutes beforehand, depending on the nature of the case, I think this will all work out. Reviewing the hearing process with the panel members. We will summarize the case information, but we will then give you the packet to review all of the details. You'll get to review the script again. We hope that you would look at the script before you get to the hearing so that you're not tripping over words. And so that should you have a question about how the script reads, that you could ask us those questions prior to the hearing. And just to remind everyone to speak clearly, this is very much key, that the recorder must be in a place where it can pick up the voice of everyone in the room. So it shouldn't just sit by the recorder. It should probably sit in the middle of the table. The deliberations, as a group, this can get very interesting, okay? Lively discussions, which are okay, but we want to make sure that everyone is being respectful during the deliberations process. You need to come to a consensus. And if a consensus cannot be reached, of course, we will have to, as the administrative hearing officers, take it from there. But I don't think we've had a situation where the group could not make a decision about a case. Do you have
No,
any?
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Okay. Signing documentation. We've again made everything electronic, so we're trying to make this as easy as possible for everyone. The next form that you see is the Dean of Student Services report. So our office, once you all make a recommendation to us, we review the recommendation and we actually transfer the recommendation onto a single form. And either the conduct officer, which would be Stephen or I, or the Dean of Students, would either agree to what was decided or amend it. And they would use this form, we would use this form to do so. Anything you want to add about this form? No? Okay. And so we already went over the training competencies. These are all of the forms. I feel like I went through the forms very quickly, but I know as a person listening that this may sound like a lot of information. Are there any questions? No questions? Any questions from online?
So far, no questions. We have 2 people online.
Okay, no questions. That's fine. Okay. Well, should you all have questions, feel free to email us. If you can just type in our email addresses online, feel free to email us and we will answer questions then. We hope you guys have a great experience and look for ongoing training education opportunities. We plan to have a mock hearing. So for those of you who want to actually get the experience before serving, we will have that experience. And then we'll have some other training topics like Last year we had liabilities associated with panel members making decisions. That was a really good discussion and well attended event. If there are other questions or training ideas that you think would be good, please let us know. We will certainly try to make it happen. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time. We know it was a huge commitment, but we know it will contribute to your experience. Okay. Thank you.